All right, well, let's get to sharing here. Share screen. All right. So I'm going to be using one of our agents' listings and be able to write an offer on it. So there is two ways to get into Transaction Desk. I personally have a icon, a bookmark, but you are able to get into it actually from your MLS. Mine might look slightly different from your guys's because I'm using the Prescott MLS, but simply you will go onto your row of icons and go down, and there's a button for Transaction Desk. And the one perk of this is that you are able to um, oh, be able to go directly in, and it will auto populate the property into, yeah, that's not working right, into the property, and be able to have the forms automatically do that. I'm going to go the other way. That way you have an idea of the how to create it from your dashboard here. So this is your dashboard here on Transaction Desk. There are templates that you can go in and create on your own, and then there are templates created by the broker. I've created my own, but you will see where and how to um, be able to apply them differently. So you can see here, I went in and there's transactions, authent to sign, and these other items. So I'm just going to go in here and create a transaction. Name, let's call this, I'm going to work with the Jones. So I'm going to say they are the Jones and they want to make a offer on Peak Place, which is, you can see right here, is the address. And that doesn't look pretty. A little bit more pretty there. Now, template. Here, if you are using the company templates, it will be like BHRE, buyer template, and you'll have multiple others right here on the top. So I'm just going to use my template 2022. I made it using another with another client, and I'm a part of a couple different MLSs, but I'm going to be using the Prescott Association. And this is a residential home. If you're doing, if in the property, if it showed up as a piece of land, if it showed up as a multifamily, that's where you'd be doing it. And it has it right up here. It would be showing right in your top bar, but it is a residential. And then I'm just going to steal this MLS number. I just copied that and we paste it right into here. And then it'll be putting me as the buyer's agent. You can see it could put me as the listing, the buyer. If I'm dual repping, it could put me as both. And if I'm helping another agent or whatever and just trying to be a cool person, you'd put yourself as neither, and then you'd figure out how to type in their information. So that is the basis of how we start the wizard. So we hit create right there. And it's going to think for a second. You can see new transaction created. And this will give you a lot of the base information that came off of the contract. Many agents, they will like to put in what their purchase price will be, their deposits and all that. I actually like to go into the contract itself and fill in that way, but you are able to do it from here. It will go in through a few different forms, but I am OCD and like to actually make sure every single form is reading properly. And but we will do that. The same thing, you can put in your offer dates and such here, and that will flow into your contracts. Again, we'll be applying it to the template. So here, we have a lot of different things that we're going to have to apply to. So we have the escrow company. I actually have that in a different slot. So I'm going to delete that from the contacts per se. We have the listing broker, the buyer's broker. Right now they're the same because we're using it as um, just the sample. But here you can see client of Best Homes Real Estate as the seller. We want to go ahead and fix that now so that in the future, as we're doing all our forms, it will auto-populate to that. So I'm going to go over here to the listing, and there is the monsoon. Everybody should have a monsoon button. I know they do an the AR MLS. And so you can see we have Jason A. Goldsmith, and then we have a Latrina Goldsmith. So I'm just going to copy and paste one name and come over here and put that in and just clear that out. And then just to make things a little bit easier, I will put that. It just makes the contract look a little bit more cleaner. So that's all you need is a first name, last name, and doing the address. It will definitely make it look clean. And then you press save. And then we will come over here, and then we will do another. We will create a new transaction contact. And we're going to call this a seller as well. And then we are going to come back over to our MLS, and we're going to grab Latrina's information. And I just pop everything in there. I get rid of Jason, and I copy that, paste that, and the address, same as above. And we are saved. Now we have the agents, we have the brokers, everything's good. We need our buyer in there. So let's add a new transaction. So we go in buyer. This is David Jones, email, we'll call him DJ for David Jones at 123email.com. And then we can put in David Jones if we chose to. The e-sign will figure that out. And then for the contract, we need to have this information, again, to make it look clean. And you just put in their information. This is also nice in case if you are using a form to just have all your vital information on one piece, it will auto-populate onto that. So got in their phone number, and that creates. So now we have buyers and sellers and all the agents on here. Now we are going to, I have a plethora of different documents on here, some of which I will, or let me pause for a second. How is everybody doing? Do we have any questions? Is everybody doing good?
Yes, we're doing good.
All righty, all righty. And come back over here. So we, so going into the property, I just want to make sure that I have all my details correct for the contract. So I know personally that this uses city water and city sewer, but you can find that in the utilities. It has city water here and city sewer here. So I will come in, and I do not need a well addendum, so I will delete that. I'll need this at some point. I will not need my on-site treatment, which is your septic addendum. So we delete that. And so pretty much everything else I feel confident that we're going to be needing at one point or another. So we click next. So you can see I have my a part of my forms and my template, I have the affiliated business disclosure. That's required by the company, so I keep it in there. And we are done. So now we come into the transactions homepage, and you have your documents here, you have your forms here. Eventually, after we do send things out for a signing, we will actually have another box that will say signings. So let's actually go in and just jump into the offer. The home is asking at 465. So we've talked to our buyers and they want to come in and make a little bit of a lower offer. And of course, in today's market, they need a little bit of cash assistance for paying down their rate. So the first thing, we just kind of start line by line and seeing what needs to be filled in. We've got our David Jones, we have Jason Goldsmith, we have his wife, we have the address, parcel numbers. Great. The legal description did not come over. So no problem. We just come over, copy, paste. And so we know they is at 465. Let's say they wanted to offer 450. So you don't need to be putting any commas, parentheses, periods, because it does it for you. And they are going to offer a $2,000 earnest money. You can see I already have it pre-populated to be deposited within 3 business days. That just kind of lets people figure out how to get it done, whether doing a wire or dropping a check in the mail. And they are going to be doing a conventional loan, and they are going to put 10% down for very easy numbers for me. So they're going to put $45,000 down. And then, so you can see 45 minus the 450,000 is 405,000. And that is going to be their conventional loan. So you can see we have this number. Both of these lines 12 and 13 add to 450. We do not take into account this number because that earnest money can be applied to a variety of different things. So technically, you don't want to try to be doing a crazy math algorithm between the 3 of them. That every agent is different. You will see it both ways on different offers. But as I've been taught, this is the proper way to do it. So I always put that it will come in a personal check. That gives your clients a little bit more time if it is a check versus if you click it on a wire transfer, then there's a little more precedence that it will be a wire transfer. It goes into, that is wrong. It needs to go into the escrow company. We don't hold things in the broker's trust because we don't do that. Essentially, nobody does that. Close of escrow. Today is the 25th. Let's say we are going to do a 30-day close, and we'll put it on Friday. But let's think about things that go on. The 24th is Thanksgiving. Many offices and banks sometimes will be closed on that. So let's actually jump it over here to say that Tuesday. It's a couple extra days that gives us some room for negotiation and still have a 30-day close. All right, we are going to jump back over here, and we see we're looking for what documents that we need to be having here in the contract. there is an HOA, so we put in our HOA doc, and everything else is good. Um, I always put it in refrigerator, washer, dryer. You could come over here and see if they are offering appliances or offering the refrigerator. I'll ask for the washer or dryer. If they say yes, cool. If not, they can do a counter and or addendum. Type of financing, we are doing conventional. Um, and we are going to ask for 3% in closing cost, which would be about 13,000, 14,000 in there for that to buy down the rate. Appraisal cost, buyer will take care of the appraisal. I don't know why this isn't autofilled. It should have been the Magnus. And yeah, so we make sure that we have our items all filled in, and I don't remember the full phone number there, so we'll just skip that for time's sake. But this is the error of me having my template. I didn't save something properly. Inside of the true buyers forms for the company, they are in here for the Magnus title, best homes title. We continue on. Everything is looking good. Here we go. We need to make sure that the home is built after 78. This is 2000. So we just skip over this. We continue on. There is no warranties that the buyer's relying on. We can say we want a 13-day home inspection. As we get into the holidays, this is vital that you start paying attention to where different holidays are and how close you are to it, because that can really put a cramp into it, because we all have lives, we all have stuff, including the inspection contractors. So possibly give them a call, see how far they're out with your preferred inspection company. And again, this is a sewer system. We already looked at that earlier. And then we just kind of keep on scrolling. I always keep the standard dates for your spuds. We are going to we'll get a 5-star home warranty. You could do Home Guard. We have some amazing affiliates that we work with. So you have your options there. If things are outside of the box and you're needing a little bit of extra terms to go in here, say, you need to put in that perhaps your buyer is a licensed realtor in New Mexico, or that you want to put in certain repair items right off the bat because it would be vital to the contract for your buyers. So that would go in there.
Lee, can you go back to that little section real quick? Just a little note, and it's not in the Nebraska MLS, so I apologize. We're going to part with David on it, but in the Maricopa County MLS, where it says add clause, if you click on that, there's some pre-saved clauses that David has pre-populated in there. Very common add clauses. So whenever you're practicing, I would highly suggest clicking in it to see what kind of clauses are in there, so you don't have to think about the verbiage. Typically it's, I don't have them off the top of my head, but I know it's like the top 5 common clauses that we add into the purchase contract. So just a little plug in regards to that little section there.
Right. And some of those are like close of escrow to be on or before with mutual consent of both parties. Those are the type of verbiages that are, you don't remember them every day unless if you're writing a ton of contracts, or you just have that length of time. So yeah, Melissa is spot on there. to where just being able to click into those, you can see the add clause, and then you'll have the personal clauses, or you will have office, and then you'll have system. So you'll find those in the office clauses. If you are working with wholesalers or anything like that, and they want to have very specific terms, I believe those are in the document as well for the office. Thank you for piping in there, Melissa. So jumping on down, this is going to be your terms of acceptance. Many agents, they want to see anywhere between 24 to 36 hours. This is where having a simple conversation with the other agent is ideal, because you never know if they have clients that are out of town or they're on vacation, if they are in a retirement home and they have to they don't do things electronically. You can't be asking for a 12-hour response time in certain points. So this is where just call, have a conversation, and working with the other agents will actually get you further along than just saying, we need a response in 6 hours. I've done it before in certain time periods, and at other points, it doesn't really get you that far. All this is pre-populated from the transaction desk and from the MLS. Here you can see, since I put in this address in the contact form, it automatically brought it in, and it makes it look that much cleaner. Same thing, these are all populated from the transaction desk and me putting in that MLS number. And then there is the seller's information. Just clicking that one checkbox of use address does populate that. So awesome. So one thing that drives me nuts, and so you have a save and exit here, but that will take you back to this screen. Or if, say, you are in your form screen and then you are in your purchase contract, like we were, and you hit the save exit, it will take you back out to your forms page. So essentially where you started. Another thing that you can do that keeps everything saved is, and you're wanting to be time efficient as possible, you can't just go up here to your forms. And what I do is I will just go one form after another, and make sure everything is filled out properly. The buyer advisory simply just needs signatures. I know that I don't need to go in there. The pre-closing walkthrough, that's not need to be filled out for the offer. This I know needs a couple check boxes. You can see it's auto-populated once again. But there are some people that will check these for their buyers or sellers. Talking with a real estate attorney before, they actually recommend that you have your actual clients do that, because they are electing those. And you have those conversations before, and essentially for the buyers, you would say you are able to represent them as the buyer's agent. And in this case, you are doing it's a dual agency, which would need to be that one. So as I go into my e-sign, I'll put a checkbox here, and then the undersigned buyers. So you'll have another checkbox there. I'll hit that as we do our e-sign for you guys. Wire fraud is just signature, same with market conditions. So everything else is pretty good there. So let's go ahead and go back to our forms. I could hit, I should have hit save and exit, but I went out the wrong way. So we go back in, everything saves as you change screens, which is very nice. So we go in here, we'll save and exit. Okay, so I like to present things in a way that it creates a story for your buyer signing. Really off the bat, even before you start showing homes, you should have the buyer advisory to them, and you should have your wire fraud and your market conditions. Those are pretty much baseline items. But say you just started working with them today, you didn't get those to them. This is a time that they will be needing it. And I am just looking over and making sure I have my different forms. So buyer advisory, the ready. You all hear this called the ready because it's READE, ready. I'm not going to be jumping into the buyer broker right now. We have those items, and now we will click on our purchase contract. So we come up, we have these things checked in the way that we want to, but say, oh no, we forgot to do a certain way. We'll be able to adjust how they present in a few seconds. We have other items to be doing here. Say you're wanting to send this to a PDF and email it from your email versus from the system. This is where you'd be doing that. So I send it to Authentisign. And just come over here, make sure we have everything kind of pop up. So signers, you can see over here on the right hand side, we're going to be kind of working in this area for a bit. So we're going to add some participants, and we are going to take it down and add from the transaction. We are going to be having myself as a CC. We want the other agents as a CC. So as soon as you're done, your buyer is done signing, they are able to be a part of that. Say you have a lead-based paint disclosure, or you have your listing of documents that need your signature on it, you would keep yourself as a remote signer. So we will do that. Make sure that you click select, or it will disappear on you. Documents. We have everything that we have here, but remember how we were talking a little bit back about the affiliated business. This is the affiliated business disclosure, nice and empty. So we will, you are able to click the link and you'll actually view the document. Make sure it's exactly what you want, in case if you accidentally downloaded multiple of them and say one is signed, one is not. Always recommend doing just a quick view. So you have that, and to have a nice clean offer, you need to have all your documents. So here in the MLS, in the Documents tab, we have the HOA addendum, and we have the seller's disclosures. So I'm going to just download this really quick. Peak Place. If you don't see this, what I'm doing right now is essentially just saving it to my my computer and saving it as a Peak Place HOA. And then I'm not going to do it right now, but I would send the spuds to my clients before writing the offer. And from that point, when I do this entire offer, they have already seen the disclosures and making sure that it's exactly what they want. We will add the document of the HOA, because that needs to be part of things that is still a part of your negotiations. And we will drag up. Remember how I talked about how we can move things? We will drag that, the affiliated business, up a little bit, and then we are going to start signing or placing items. So we essentially just cruise through and make sure that we have everything in signed places. So this is a long document, but on page 13, they have placed that. Here on the wire fraud, oh no, they did not place it. So we will drag over the full name and we put it in the name slot. And then we will drag over the signature, and watch this, as we drop it, it automatically has a date. So say you have a place that has a signature, but it is not supposed to have a date, you're able to just click that date and delete it. Or you want to move it over somewhere else, you are able to do that. You are able to click these signatures if you accidentally did something, and it will delete them. Continue down, again, the same thing. You hit that full name, you hit that signature, and for prettiness, you just move that over. Continuing down, this is where we allow Mr. Jones to actually do the checkbox themselves. So he is represented the buyer as the buyer's broker, and we are asking him to do this. And then we need to have him check as the buyer. Awesome. And then our affiliated business disclosure, we are disclosing that Best Homes has an interest in Best Title, and that Best Homes has an interest in the mortgage best rate. So this is needing to be done on every single transaction, whether they are being used or not. So we have all those done, completed, and awesome. We will continue on, and we have the initial here, and we continue going on. And say last minute my buyer calls me as I'm doing this, and he's like, hey, remember that chest freezer in the garage? Can I ask for them to include that as well? Sure. So we come in here and we write chest free, and then you put on a transparent background, and there you go. You have added something in that was a last minute thought. You don't want to go back and redo everything that you just did, and you just need to make a small little adjustment. Nobody has signed this yet. You do not do this, say, after anything has been signed. That is fraud. This is just cleaning up your offer before things are sent. So we come down, everything is looking good. Yes, I omitted those couple items for time's sake. We keep on going. This is one thing that you need to be paying attention to. If premises was constructed prior to 98, no, it was not, or sorry, prior to 78, it was not, it was in 2000. we continue. We continue. They automatically hit those items. Everything is looking good. I always review my offer as I'm scrolling down just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. If you had your additional terms in there, you would have it. Everything's looking good. We did not put the terms of acceptance in, and so that is all there. Now the HOA, the seller and the seller's agent fill out this first line. You can see that they have signatures. March did a great job with that. Or I should actually say Parker did. And then number 2 is just data for the buyer. And so here again, we since we're using their form, we drag up and put David Jones as our buyer. And we can say that the buyer will take on the transfer fees, but the seller is going to take on those capital fees. And if there's other fees that are not disclosed on page 1, if they're not disclosed, I say the seller is on the hook for that. That's just one of my pet peeves. If there's any other little nuances, you'll write them in there. And then you will have your buyer sign, and then the seller will sign. So this is very important that we can see the dates are first the seller on page 1, and then page 3 the buyer, and then after the buyer it will be the seller. So you might go, well, what if the buyers and sellers are signing on the same date? You can stick in a hour, minute for the time. And then, so we have essentially created everything. We hit next. And I will always set a reminder for every day at 7 a.m. because some people see it, some people forget about it. Some offers are sensitive, but some other documents say it's a disclosures or something that's not time is of the essence per se. This is where it sticks in even better to have that as a reminder for them. And so for that, and then you press send. It's very, very easy. It will take you back out to your transactions and signings. And if you come out here to the side, we can look at our dashboard of the transaction, and it should have, it does not at the moment, but you will see a signing section out here. You can also jump to your side over here, and you will see the Jones Peak Place that. So I just cruised through that pretty quickly, but yeah, do we have any questions?
Nope.
No, okay. Do you feel that you'd be able to be writing your contract efficiently? You can see I spend a lot of time explaining it, but truly you can make it through that transaction and writing that contract in probably about 10 minutes to 10 to 15 minutes after you've done it a few times and you have your templates, or you're using the templates that are on point.
Thanks, Lee. Well, you went over some extra bonuses as well. If you guys want a thorough on workshop on how to write an offer, we do have some pre-recorded ones, so just message me if you want those. But luckily Lee also kind of went into it. The best thing about Transaction Desk and the best way to learn it is to fill it out with someone. It's exactly kind of what Lee did. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
So if you guys go to AAR online, they also offer trainings from the actual Transaction Desk people. It is Lone Wolf. and they have webinars every Wednesday from 10 to 12. And they all have little bite-sized chunk videos right over here on how to create a transaction, how to mess with the e-sign feature. So that second part that he did was probably the part we kind of all finicky with on the how to drag and drop those where the papers are, and how to CC someone. I actually didn't realize how to CC someone in Transaction Desk. So that's something that you could do in bite-sized chunks in here. How to create a template. As Lee said, the brokerage has pre-made templates for you. So if you've never written an offer, just put BHRE buyer transaction, and it probably populates all the documents that traditionally you would need. Some of them do not apply, or it just kind of does that for you. You can also create your own. So let's just say you are constantly writing 2 or 3 offers and you don't need some of the other additional ones. You can create a template just for that. So just wanted to make sure that you guys know how to go into the AR online and see some additional training if need be. But thank you so much, Lee. I know it's not like the sexiest topic, as they say, but it is one of the most important things to know how to do because you write an offer. So since we have a nice little pair of people, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to send you guys each other's contact information. But Calvin and Eliana, can I partner you guys up and you can send each other an offer? So I'll send you your contact information and actual listing. I'm going to keep it a little simple, like no HOA. And I'm going to throw a curveball in there like, hey, I need 3% concessions. So you remember how to write it, and then you can drag and drop and know how to mess with it. And if you want to continuously practice, you can do it with me or with Lee, so that you're comfortable with it, because that's what it kind of comes down to. And then Adam and Ivan, I'll partner you guys up together, send you guys each other's email and phone numbers so you can send each other an offer. So there's a little bit of a challenge or something to implement after today's workshop, because essentially that's the only way you're going to end up kind of gaining the information. Cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, Melissa, any of the success managers, and we are definitely here for you.
All right. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for attending today's boot camp. Tomorrow's workshop is on mastering branding. I'm reading this book, and it says the first thing you should do is kind of get this part done. So I do highly suggest attending tomorrow's workshop. But enjoy your busy Tuesday and enjoy your Halloween week, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.